and welcome to my channel. I'm Linda from lindaspapercraft.co.uk and we are in week 4 of the Thankful Garden Coffee and Card, and today I'm just going to use the sentiment. I'm not using any of the masks, I'm not using any of the dies, I'm just using these sentiments with love and thanks. I am using the lovely Garden designer signature paper that is part of this. If you buy the whole suite you get the paper as well, and this one is my favorite one and I didn't want to hide any of it, so here we are. Right, okay, so the dies I have used are from Perennial Postage, and I'm using the 2 squares from the Perennial Postage pack. If you are just stamping along and haven't got the kit, then obviously just a square die would do if you don't have these. Let me see, so we're looking at about just under 4 centimeters square, and that's just under 5 centimeters square if you were going to replace those with just squares. Right, so let us get started, as they say. Now, I didn't have any fresh Freesia ribbon. Goodness knows how, because it's one of my favourite colours. I'm assuming I've run out. So what I've done is these are 3mm strips of card. Okay, so if you've got the kit, I've cut them for you. If you haven't, you're going to have to cut yourself some 3mm strips. So they are, I think they're about 10 centimeters, the ones I've cut by 3mm, and they will be, there they go, so they'll be in your pack somewhere ready for you to glue on. Okay, I just thought I didn't want a strip of card, but I just thought those 3 sort of gives a hint, maybe a bit of a ribbon. So just checking I'm straight. Yes, I am. Right, so you've got your postage die cutouts. A piece of green, that's 14.2 by 9.8, and this is 13.9 by 9.5, as is the white for inside the card. Basic A6 card blank in fresh Freesia as well. So right, so let's go. So the first thing I'm going to do is stick on these little tiny pieces of paper card, and I wanted it about 1/3 of the way up, so it's about 5 centimeters from the bottom, which is roughly there. So if I put that there, that's 5 centimeters. So I'm going to put my first one along that line there. So I'm just going to grab a peel. This is from last week's, or the week before actually, because I did video these out of order. That was week 2 and this is week 4. So I'm just going to put that there to hold it in place, and I am going to get one of these and my needle glue. I've cut these with a guillotine, so there isn't really an up or a down. Oops. And I think the secret is these. They don't all have to be 3mm exactly, but they do have to be parallel strips. You don't want wonky strips. So right, excuse my head as I come in, so it's going just beyond, and I'm just lining that up there, those 2 up with the line. In fact, I've actually stuck it down on that side, so let's lift it. Right, so that's my first strip in place. So, and now I'm going to get my little cube, and I'm thinking, do we want to go? I'm thinking, because I've done that at 5 centimeters, I think I'm going to do one above and one below. Yeah, I am. One above and one below, because of course this is 13.9 centimeters, so 5 centimeters isn't the middle, isn't a third. It's a good place to start there. Right. There we go. So I'm now just going to line that up. I am going to lower it down. I do apologise if I come off camera. I shouldn't do if I stay on the paper, but I'm just putting that a little smidge below, and then the other one a little smidge above. Okay, put that away. So again, I'm bringing that down so I can see it better. And just line it up by eye. There we go. So I'm just going to put that to one side to dry before I trim it. Isn't that cute? See, Mary, I did think about winding some linen thread around it, but I know how much you loved that, so I didn't. Oh. Right. So I'm going to stamp with love towards the top of the square, leaving room for the and thanks underneath. There we go. Oops. And then I'm going to put the and thanks in the middle. Put it off to one side before, and I think I prefer it in the middle. Let's have a look. Yeah, I think it looks better in the middle rather than off to one side. See, that one's there. That one's in the middle. All right. If you do have the dies, I would probably recommend that you stamp it and then die cut it out. Use a piece out of your piece of white out of your stash. Okay, so that way, put these together. Right. Slipping about. So. There we go. And I'll turn this over and get my paper snips, and I'm just snipping these off everywhere. Oops. Oh, it's still a bit wet. There we go. Then this is going to stick on my green. Now the green, it is only a 1.5mm gap all the way around. So it's tiny, weeny little gap. So I really hope you've enjoyed this month. Next month we're doing the Sail Away bundle. It's called Sunrise Sailing. I haven't got it here because it's in my bag. But this one again, it's a 3-part bundle. This time it's a stamp set, a die set, and an embossing folder, and it's a combined embossing folder, so you can emboss and cut with the embossing folder. So you end up with your die cuts with texture. It looks really good. See, just there, I just missed. I am going to whip that off. She says, just where I cut it while it was still wet, there's still a bit of card. There we go. Right, and then this sticks on the front of the blank, which I can't find. Which is there. Just sticks to the front of the card like that, and then pop the white in the middle. So this is just 30. No, I bet it's not. I bet it's 9.8. It is 9.8 by 14.2. some dimensionals on the top and bottom. Here we go. Nearly running out of these. Actually, I am going to use how many do we think? Put that there, 1, 2, 3, maybe 4. Let's do 3.5. 3.5. So you want this to go either side of the 3 little strips of card. Because if you put dimensionals on top of the card in the middle, your sentiment's going to do that. So you want your dimensionals either side. Let's put it the right way up. Okay, so just pop that on there. I think I've put it a bit further over. I have. So watch somewhere for my diamantes to go. And then again, we're going to use 2 big ones and a little one. This one. 2, and then I want a middle-sized one, so I need to go into here because I've only got tiny weeny ones left in there. So, oh, I've got room. There we go. Okay, so slightly different. I've put that one up there and that one was there. Right, okay, so there we go. That's our 4th and final card for June 2025. And I look forward to seeing you all next week. Bye.